This next piece,
Confetti.
it's a component piece, right? And this next piece is very personal. It's been requested. It's called 3.6 seconds. The significance of it is that every 3.6 seconds a child dies. There's 24,000 deaths a year. Hug your children, your nephews, your nieces. Hug them before you leave. Straight out of the mouth of babes, speaking it to mics over open graves. Because you know, slaves don't know how to behave without constrictions to their own convictions. But you can't be convicted unless you play the role of a victim. And I pardon you from this decision. Because my mental has Obama credentials, with a 21-gun salute whenever I shoot the truth, or whenever I exploit the disparity of the youth, with one dying every 3.6 seconds. Just to teach us a lesson. But how many more lessons need to be learned before we have more unprotected sex to create more weapons of mass destruction that live to die for nothing?
Rewind!
But how many more lessons need to be learned before we have more unprotected sex to create more weapons of mass destruction that live to die for nothing? I hate you, the first thing your child said the first time they couldn't get their way. And unbridled wisdom challenged their ignorance that shortened their days in ways that apologies couldn't add to it. So your hearts became Trump and you both were afraid to cut. So you figured reneging would allow you to be forgiven. And that last whore your child was called promises to leave a mark that turns into a battle scar. Having to heal in the midst of corrupted school systems that have the nerve to deliberate to put God's protocol in them. Now verbal suicide becomes a curriculum, and class is about to start. And body bags are brought in extra large to accommodate his faith and his heart, just to increase his odds. And I'd rather starve than not to be able to call the one I serve God. And laws should be broken when you should have to spread a rod. Looking at your reflection with no mirror and you lose face of who you really are. So premiere your own possibilities and become your own star with no limits. Allowing your purpose to become your redemption. And in reality, you just might be the only Bible that a person ever reads. So amplify your thinking into becoming reality instead of just being theory. Because it's only the inconsistencies of your integrity that make you a liability. So no longer hide behind failed tries, because genocide only subtracts from what you already added to. And within these last 2 minutes, the death toll has risen from 42 possibilities to 42 casualties. And I refuse to allow this mic to grieve and make no apology for the words I speak. Because I find my answers in prayer while you'd rather use a cheat sheet based on wounds that run deep. And resentment makes it a hard wound to treat. And people are constricted with the belief that bullets provide peace, but only to the deceased. At least that's what my best friend told me, may he rest in peace. These senseless killings are influenced by similar vision of children that made decisions that outlived them. Because ignorance kills wisdom, and knowledge keeps me under the influence that allows my assets to change tax brackets. Because I'm rich in God's promises, and you make promises you can't keep with no accountability. But you got mad love for the streets, and it kills me softly how you choose to die hard. With no regard to these graveyards are full to capacity. But there'll be no toe tagging me until God takes me. But before I go, I refuse to hug any more ghosts or toast to this reality or bury any more of you that look like me.